boyfriend's a special business, and so I got drafted him off it. So I got recruited into it.
I tried to get my wife into it, but
no, I'm dying hard now. Are you based out of New York?
Yeah.
Okay, probably different department. I don't know if it's like your Kelsey.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just use reference points.
It's not even working.
what we've been able to learn is what this rescue has been like since we've been out here since last night, starting at around 10 p.m. We are standing on top of the parking at Terminal 1. This gives us a clear view of the rescue that was happening on the Potomac. And one thing I want to show you is a focal point. The sun is kind of working against us here, but what you can see in the middle is that there were boats saw multiple divers going in and out of that water throughout this 12-hour period. And then we also learned, because we took a glimpse through a photographer's long-distance lens, we were actually able to see the pattern of this attempt to get people out of the water. Because what they did is they were actually moving bodies, taking them down the landing strip, and then they were resting there to hold them until they were then moved. That's what we were able to see while we were out here. Something we also noticed is that more helicopters were up in the air, especially as it was darker, shining the light down. These were three elements that the rescue crews were working against, and that was the darkness in the water, and as well as the darkness in the environment, the ocean water, and the picture was extremely focused. Now, that is what the sobrevivientes has just learned also more survival over time here as families were waiting to be ready for the ocean, as we will see, of course, with the bodies being removed from the water. What we're still working to find out is exactly, what happens next. We know that just about 24 bodies have been recovered. We're still working to learn exactly what areas particularly right now they're focusing on, because last night and earlier this morning they're focused further towards my left and down this area. And now we're noticing there are no emergency crews. We know that they're still working out here, because as many of the officials said, they will not leave until everyone is recovered. We're going to stay out here too to get those questions answered, because there are still many. Now reporting live from the Reagan National Airport, we shot 8 o'clock, 45 minutes. Thank you, team. Good morning. Good morning, Switch Ashley with ABC7. We have been out here near the Potomac for going on nearly 12 hours. This is one of the hardest days I think I've covered in my journalism career, and there have been many. But just standing here looking out at the Potomac and knowing what those victims unfortunately went through, and also what these families now are going through and will go through in the upcoming days, months, and years is just heartbreaking. I want to give you a look at the river right now. It's a different view from what we were seeing late last night. We were here around 9 and 10 p.m. and even compared to this morning before the sun came out. This middle part, I know it's a little bit hard to see because we're on the opposite side of the sun. That is where we saw a heavy presence of boats and divers going in and out of that water. Something we also were to see was a very heart-wrenching video. We got to see the folks with photographers, long-distance friends, and to walk through this process of recovery with some of the emergency crews. What we saw is that they were bringing the bodies out of the water, taking them down the landing strip, and then kind of holding them in the area just to carry them until they were moved again. Watching that happen as, families were just below us and waiting to find out if it was their loved one, how they are doing, just heartbreaking. Now we do know that unfortunately there are no survivors. So I'm going to continue to be out here and bring you the latest details, and so just a heart-wrenching day for the community, especially these families in this house. So thank you for sticking with us. We're now reporting live from the Reagan National Airport.
Jackery, right?
Yeah.
Seems like everybody has those.
Yeah.
Was that the Hunter Biden thing up in Wilmington? Everybody has it.
Everybody has it. I just use my car.
Yeah.
Okay.
The old USB thing.
Yeah, you gotta push the little button. Have you used one?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay.
I need to get one.
You
of
just
these.
have to push the little button that says USB. It'll come up. Just make sure it's working.
Is that on there?
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, a little blinking light right there when it's charging. I believe.
Let's try.
These cameras are new, so I'm
gonna push it first and see.
that light comes on when it's just right. Let me see. These are brand new cameras. I don't know where the light would be.
But you could plug into this too. And
okay.
I have a. I mean, if you don't have one of these, I've got one somewhere.
I
You
got
got
see that there.
Yeah. That'd be probably better. I got two things powered in that.
So he's got the
now you got
light
it. Okay, cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you want to put it?
I'll just give it a little while.
If you want to put it in here, you
no,
can.
it's fine.
You all right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got my eye on it.
Give it a half hour.
So it does. Looks like all my stuff's kind of moving over.
Morgue is that thing, right? Is it where that white van is, or is the tents further up?
Well, that's the weird thing. So everything, that whole area from that yellow thing, green thing,
Yeah.
all the way down is being
see. George said for you to shoot.
Video. No, my boss said.
Your boss said to?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said you may have to shoot video. So I don't know if they have someone going up. I got to call George, I guess.
Do you want me to ask them?
Yeah, if you would, that'd be
WhatsApp?
great. Yeah. Yeah, because I don't have his. I haven't been in touch with him yet. That'd be great.
Tell me your name again.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin, tell me the other Kevin.
You are aware that skills is doing live. Here with the other
Anything from George?
I just sent it to him.
Okay.
Haven't heard from him
Thanks.
yet. Yep. Let's see what he says here. When I get it, I'll let you know.
All right, cheers.
But you can check in if you need to.
something you see the red, sort of big red tower, and you go to the right, there's one. I think that might be something, I'm not sure.
There's nothing around it right now, though, huh?
No, there has been. The other debris that I've noticed was like...
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a helicopter.
Did you see it?
Yeah, you can see like the tail hook and the tail.
Yeah.
I mean, the tail wheel.
And I've heard here I can see backwards.
Not up there right now.
Not now, but earlier. They had a boat. I mean, there was a boat there.
Right, yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah,
I was like,
pull the sides out. So they're not really active around the sides.
yeah. How would they get a plane out of here? Because they put it in a bar.
But it's not, yeah.
It's going to be a big production.
They would cut them in pieces and
Yeah. Let's see, where's it?
reassemble it, warehouses. You know, I've seen them reassemble a plane.
Really?
I've seen them reassemble a pipeline. work together to figure that out.
I just sent them a message.
Oh, thank you.
Good. How's it going?
Easy. Hey, how you doing? Hey, man. How you doing, Big Brad?
How about you?
Good, man. You good?
Good to see you.
All right.
You look busy.
Unfortunately, I don't want to be.
Well, freelance, I do. So.
Yeah. Dude, like, I don't know. It's been so busy the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, completely fucking the country. Just fucking steady drip of the truck. Almost country. Infrared. Texas. It is. That's who we go.
Excuse me, sir.
Hey, what's
going on?
I got I'm live. So.
All right.
Yeah, I just got here, so what can you see?
With a larger boat? Yeah.
See, that's the plane, and if you look over there, okay, so you go see the four little towers together
with the
and
white
then
and the
you
red.
see a big one with the thing on top, and then if you in our view, you see like a telephone-looking pole, skinnier that's closer to us.
Yes, I did.
Just a little further than that. That's the helicopter. You can just see a lump.
Oh, okay, I do see it.
Yeah,
I do see it.
so that's everything.
Okay. Okay. How's it going? Not too bad. How are you? Good. I got it set up. But,
Go.
We'll talk later. We'll be here for a while.
Hopefully.
Yeah. What was the guy's name, the pilot? Sorry. The guy who organized it. Yep. Okay. All right, let me talk to Corinne. Yep, I'll get back. Marshal on board, so they got to bring an air marshal in, and then TV's not even going to fucking be on it. It's like they don't have somebody. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? You don't have a body? You're going to spend that kind of money? $10,000? This doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem right there.
I mean, I know we can't be pros, but it's still so. Thanks. I got a thermos, man. Thanks, Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully you got some charge out of it.
That'll be funny. I got 2 more batteries, so that should be good.
Cool.
All right, thanks again for
Yeah,
your help.
no problem. Anytime. Yeah. It's very helpful.
Pictures any better?
Say what?
Pictures any better?
Nah. I mean, maybe there's a little more detail. We're starting to get a little better. It's like they got like a
Start seeing more debris.
holding it in place, sort of. Yeah, there's a lot of ice out there. I didn't notice that before. I mean, I knew there was some, but there's a pretty good amount of ice out there.
Yeah, during the night, there was just right on the other side of the boat, there's an ice floe. Just
Really?
going. We went and did the story on the ice divers.
Oh,
They
really?
trained over at the tidal basin.
Wow.
Guys would go under, let loose of their tether, and another guy would walk them in.
Jeez. How'd you shoot that?
How'd I shoot it?
Yeah.
From the shoreline.
You guys didn't do any fancy schmancy?
No. We did. Somebody at the station saw Twitter, and they're like, "Go over there."
Oh yeah. When I was in Miami, we had a cameraman that was a diver, and it was when Gianni Versace was murdered. The guy that killed him, Andrew Cunanan, was on some boat in Miami Beach, and it was like they got him, whatever. That boat just sat there for a long time, and then somebody put a hole in it because they wanted it gone, all the tourists. And so we sent the diver down there to shoot the hole. Like the cameraman's like shooting the hole. And it's like Miami SVN, man. It's just crazy. It's just, you have a helicopter and a diver and like everything else.
Yeah, I remember the guys went across the river and shot back across the river because they tried to keep us very low.
Yeah. So there's an elevator right there.
Yep.
Takes you straight down.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't know really what we were doing.
Let's see the tree that's like this.
Yeah, it kind of changed as the meeting was.
The tree right now.
Yeah, got that top bay, the boat out there.
So let me grab my stuff.
Okay.
As far as we could tell. And then you have the record over here. They refuel over there. This is one of the boats where they were all back in.
Is that what I'm looking at right there? To the left of the towers?
That's where all the...
That's what I assumed I was looking at last night. I was at the marina last night, so...
So, this is message?
They said it was about waist deep water. That's what I heard. They said they were both inverted. The plane was in 3 pieces, but inverted. And they said the helicopter was inverted. Yeah.
So, but you could definitely make that.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw the picture. Your shot. That's
So what I just
So Archer,
yeah.
if you look through there, that's where all the boats are kind of related. And they're still learning about the receivers in the field as well. Yeah.
No, I'm good. I know when a broken plane is. Unfortunately.
It's getting harder and harder here from this one.
Oh, the helicopter?
Oh, right up to
That wall there? And up?
the boat.
Do we have rope?
Probably coasties, because that's what coasties do.
Right.
Expendables kit. I'll drop 100 foot snatch of rope, we'll pull it up. 12 feet from the top down. Keep the reeler right there.
So if I find missions that
Same thing with over there, that was completely wrong.
Have you seen them throw any bodies?
Or you can send it to directors. Show us
That you do for sure, that's what it was.
That would be your best.
That's how you guys file.
Well, I don't know if Sonia's going to be there because she was there.
Like they
So
like
like one that you use for
and there was
That,
guys
well,
lining
well, there's
rails and
I mean, updates everybody gets.
it looked like there might have been a guy there in front of it,
So,
but the guy on the front of it had one of these big gaffer hooks, you know, like you,
everybody else gets
Yeah.
he was on front of one of those. So they built it out right there, and then
We just everything goes to Sony for us.
kind of head back that way. But that was a still photography thing.
What the
All those EMS people were down there. There were 2 tents down
I
there.
had no idea. Like, what is there?
And he had
Oh,
this
the tents, yeah.
So,
Zoom lens.
I'm going to
But that was all down here.
updates of it. So, I'm going to screen grab this.
Yes.
Like if they recovered it.
Perfect. And it should pop up.
Yeah, it
It
may not for you if you've never used it.
Okay.
So, but that's why you'll need this. What's your name?
I had fun in the night before on American.
Did you?
969
Yeah.
8120.
And I had a friend who flew in from Kansas on American an hour before.
Oh my god.
Oh, no kidding.
They want to talk?
Cheyenne? No.
Where are you guys going?
Yeah.
Well,
It's Mike.
They
Last
just
name
talk to
is
people who are
Frickin'
coming in.
at Mike Speed.
But the airport doesn't, like, people won't start arriving for flights.
Traffic
Yeah.
is heavy coming.
Planes.
TND.
Why is there so much traffic?
Whatever floats.
They're probably coming in to check in, because didn't they say flights resume at 11?
Resume at 11, so I guess they have to let them early.
'Cause that's it. I mean, there's a taxi cab down there.
Well, look at all the personal cars coming.
Yeah.
Alright, so Ben, let me,
What you need?
I'm going to set up right next to you, and then we'll just move the VNC cable over to mine. Okay. And then you can pack up, and then I'm going to park his car right here.
Right.
And then you guys go. So, where, so, Ronald knows where they need to go?
To go to terminal?
Or to go to where they go?
I'm sure they're sectioned off.
They were sectioned off. I was watching someone's channel last night, and the cops were blocking an
Yeah, you can take my spot.
And Ben, do you know what's the earliest show that JLA has? Is it
They're going at noon today. Well, we always do noon.
So, I would call, you guys have Sonia's number? Call Sonia
She
to
has
find
mine. We're not going live again.
Okay.
I asked.
Yeah.
I asked.
So
They said
call Sonia and ask her what time you want your pack. You can call her.
Because they didn't know
she said she would let me know.
Oh,
she
okay.
has my number.
Gotcha. I'm not trying
Yes.
to supersede you.
No. Yeah.
I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, no.
Because I'm not.
I do. You're looking at them.
My R will let me do.
Well, I'm hoping by the time I even do a live shot.
Yeah. Let's get her.
Been in my car for like 10 years and never been used.
I have one, but it's not.
Adam, I'm just gonna get loaded up, and then I'll just give you my key.
Okay, that's cool.
All right.
You have an extension cord with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Need it now?
No, this is fully charged. It's been on charge for
It's Adam.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm standing. No, I'm standing right next to Ben Rice, and I'm gonna unplug his camera and plug mine in. So you're gonna lose his shot for probably about 8 seconds. What's that?
Ben Rice is currently on RX 36.
Okay, so you're gonna lose your shot for like 8 seconds, and then you're gonna get it right back up. Okay, so I'm telling you, you guys are streaming it. Don't panic. All right, all right, just tell me when. You see? All right, I'm flipping it. Okay, I'm plugging in my camera now. So, all right, you should have a picture.
Just switched like a month ago.
I came in at midnight.
Yeah, it's hard. Old dog, new tricks, man. too. It's not an easy transition.
Oh.
Did you have this issue?
Huh?
Did you have this issue? With that smoke going into the shop?
Oh yeah. Yeah, once that sun broke the tree line.
No, the smoke from that little smokestack going into the shop.
Oh, it comes and goes. It depends on the
So take this with you. And I'm going to pull this part out.
Yeah, Chris fixed my tripod the week before inauguration.
How do you like those?
I like them, but these legs,
Yeah.
they have brakes in them. And the brakes give out on everybody.
I don't see any flags all at the same time.
All at the same time.
I got to get a new one. This thing's about had it.
And do you guys use just regular SD cards, right? You're not using actual SKS. You guys by chance have one that I can steal from you with it? So I'm making it for my not using my read. So I use full SKS. If you don't, these work. It's just the reader's always spinning. Don't worry about it. These work fine. It's always on the clock.
The next couple of days, so I was supposed to go today.
I mean, I'll leave them at the station if you want, but just one.
Okay, I'll give you one.
Does that work? What kind of cameras do you have?
What?
Yeah, the file is good because you can crop.
Who is?
Where are you taking those other pictures from?
The coming? Yeah. Just for here. Right there. Right there. Yeah. Now the file.
Yeah. Awesome. Yep.
My initials.
Perfect. I'll make sure I erase those.
Okay. All right.
You have a 500 millimeter or is it a 100?
You good?
Another spot here. When you say they,
Yeah, planes should start taking off.
Alright, I'm going to jump in. Give me a second.
Am I good to run off? Or
Yeah.
Pull this format to show you quick time. I'm going to move my car and back it in. His car, right?
There's nowhere else to go. My bad.
Yeah.
Right, you know the Aéreo. That's good.
Anywhere else we have access to this, but because it's military, and because it's an airport, we have no access. It's so hard. Time to leave New York.
Yeah, and that's it, right? And then you need to walk all those like 25 minutes by walking. Just point, just arrive, and the police say, get out of here.
Josh, Victoria, Audra, Jay, Nick. Chris might be one coming.
Carlos had a nice picture of the bodies.
Yeah.
Chances are, well, each of us individually.
So I talked to the woman who just moved here. She said, "You need to go over there." I got her at 5 in the morning and I told her that. Yeah, if you're those here, that's great. Thank you.
That's us? That's Reuters?
Reuters, it's TV guy.
Okay, that's Reuters. Okay.
You okay? You good?
I think so.
You want those snacks back with the ham warmers?
No, I've got plenty.
thought I could come in a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Basically, relieve you, you know.
Yeah.
And then just be on standby to help Contra. And then maybe it's even better that way because it sounds like Contra and Mike haven't done like, you know, I don't know, stuff in a while.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I also, I'm cool to stay. Just please understand that. But
I know, I already.
I've got the one that I'll show you. Okay, sounds good.
Anything happen?
No.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to see now.
I'm Adam, by the way.
Brad.
Nice to meet you,
Nice
Brad.
to meet you.
Who are you with?
With Reuters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm the chief of my.
Oh, cool.
Right on.
So do you live in Miami now?
No, I live here. Yeah, I've been here since like 2098.
Do you want to plug your power strip in here, and then you can just. I haven't inverted.
I appreciate it, but I think I'm okay. Yeah, I mean, because I think they're gonna they'll replace me at some point, and I'm just keeping it all charged. But I got tons of batteries. But I appreciate that, man. Thanks. I've been letting our stills guy charge all his stuff off of it too.
Oh,
This thing is, yeah. I mean, I think I started here today at about 7, and still pretty good. They just they had their life. And the thing is, I know I can see out of this camera. It's like, I forget what they call it. Doing well. It's 200. It's a Z200.
Oh yeah. I thought those are great.
It's great. What is it?
All these
like
great
They seem to be okay with this.
They're okay with it. I was actually down at the there. You were on the other side of the tracks.
Where were you?
So you know the ramp that goes up to so it was actually right over.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that cars go up. And
Yeah.
You can park right there.
Yeah.
Right before all the airline
Right.
turnstiles are. So I was parked right over there.
So you were really looking up. You just
Yeah. So this is
Too much up.
Yeah. This is a much better.
They would have told me if someone was calling. Like, we're gonna get a call. And that would have been fast. see.
What I'll do is I'll give you my card. And
Cool. I'll give you mine too. If you have to leave or something.
whatever. So you got
Cool, man. Thanks.
You got it.
Appreciate it. appreciate that.
Oh, no worries.
I got two choices. I'm equally happy with either one. Go for it.
I'll go Snickers. Thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I wanted the Twix. I didn't want to say anything, but
Thank you. I appreciate it. No problem. I've got drinks and snacks too, if you want them. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
yeah, I brought a little something, but
This will shut me up for a while.
that's some strange smoke over there.
Yeah, I don't see it.
What?
No. No, you're not hearing me. I don't see it.
It took me a second.
No, you're right though.
It's not a usual.
You're right.
I mean, look down there.
Right? So how long have you been up here?
I think I got here about 7.
No, I mean...
In DC?
DC.
Well, I moved here in '95, and I was working for Hearst.
Okay.
And then I went back down to Florida and went to WSBN.
Okay.
I only was there for a year.
Were you a Potomac there? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I came back up here and worked for AP
Okay.
for like 6 years. And then started freelancing.
Okay.
So,
What
and
year
that's,
were you at
so that's
SBN?
like 95. 98, 97, 98, 99,
Was Charles
97.
Belay, was Charles Belay there then?
Yeah.
I worked with him in Tampa.
Did you work with... He's a really good friend of mine. That's not the name I was trying to think of, but...
If I saw his face, I'd probably be able to identify him.
He's at WUSA now.
Oh, nice. Hey, man. How's it going? How are you, man?
Good. Where did it happen?
See the 4 similarly looking red and white
Yeah.
things? It's right to the left of there. And then you look over to that tree that's kind of bent like this at the top.
Oh, yeah.
And then you look to the left of it out in the water, that's the helicopter. This is the airplane, that's the helicopter.
I'm supposed to have my HVAC worked out today. That's not going to happen.
Oh,
I gotta probably cancel that.
oh yeah, I got a dentist appointment tomorrow.
That's we eat that.
Might want to cancel that now, huh?
Yeah.
Wait for another 6 months, I guess.
It's they said I'm grinding my teeth all of a sudden. Makes sense, doesn't it?
My name's Adam Vance. I'm Saturday or Sunday.
I'm supposed to be on vacation today.
Really? So I remember when I was in Miami, everything happened when I was there. That 1 year, everything. Second week there, Gianni Versace was murdered.
Oh, okay.
And I was like a block away. So they had a plane crash. And, I had a scanner on it, just like Rescue 21, Rescue 42, Rescue. They just kept going through all of them. They were calling everybody out, and I was like, "What are they talking about?" Firing it, and it's just like. And then I kind of looked. I was in Fort Lauderdale, and you could see it, man. You see the smoke coming up. And then a week later, a week or 2 weeks, but the same day, coming down the same road, I look down and I see the same pillar of smoke. I'm like, what? Less than a mile away, a fuel truck had crashed on the highway, and it was just pouring out. Like, so yeah, it was crazy. Just that place was just nuts. Are you getting a lot of glare? I don't think I'm getting any. I mean, I see everybody doing that, but I'm not getting a ton of. Yeah, I'm just not getting it.
Well, your lens is also.
I'll take it. Yeah.
This lens shade is really helpful. So
The sun's hitting just a little corner of it.
Yeah, it's true. Just barely getting it. I did a lot of really good students. I just got back in the news last year because my wife was. I went in there. Going on the campaign. So, yeah, I just got sucked right back in. And so, my cameras, using all my gear, and I did something that's easier to shoot protests because when I use it, yeah. And so, yeah, and this thing's got this AI focus, and it just, it's.
So which one is it? It's the Z200. Yeah, that's a good one.
And it's small, and it's.
I like that.
There's a lot of little things I like about it that I don't like about the Panasonic, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah, some really advanced.
Batteries kind of don't last as long as the Panasonic. that one, yeah. This isn't mine. I don't know. The guy that ran out of batteries last night. I didn't have my jack. Some guy put his batteries. I wasn't sure if I was going to be all night next day or and I wasn't dressed either for it. I was dressed for like a sort of like pants, you know, and like an indoor. It was a fireside chat type thing where you got to kind of look nice. And all of a sudden, you're just breathing, shaking, no gloves or a hat. I'm getting rid of that. It's toast, man. It's heavy. This thing's loose. That's why this is all. I JB welded it, and it lasted a good 6 months for campaign. Yesterday, now it's like you go to pan if you're not really careful.
Excuse me. Where is the wreckage at? Is that it right there?
Yeah.
They're close to the bowling, huh? To Anacostia.
Well, it's basically smack dab in the middle.
Oh, it's right in the middle?
I'll see if I can get through a little longer. It's like a tank.
I mean, it's a great tripod for like one of these guys, but for one of those, it's too much.
Yeah.
It weighs twice as much as my camera does.
Yeah.
But I do love them, the little switch.
Yeah. I'm so used to using them too. And but I found a pretty, well, it looks like a pretty good one at B&H. I mean, these are like, I don't remember, it was probably like $4,000. This one's like $500, and I think it's probably fine. Yeah, for news. I was thinking about getting one of these, but people are kind of talking me out. I think I want the one that has the foot mounts and little levers. Yeah, I gotta get that.
I mean, it is quick. It is quick, just like yours is. I have to get three bucks to spend the night. Just to get hit this center.
Yeah. But man,
Hit the ring and you're good.
it worth the weight of it.
Right, exactly. It's not as fast and easy.
ETSB pressure 2. Sit 11 o'clock. Is that when flights are supposed to resume? Find out. Should be the first one's taking off. Let's keep an eye on the taxi. Should have some warning if one's going to take off.
have to pre-tape the last block of...
So, there's more wreckage over this way.
The helicopter?
I think so. Like, there's more pieces of this.
That's the helicopter. If you look,
Like to the right, right?
yeah, like that tree that bends over to the left.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just. I think there might actually be divers out there too. There were earlier. You could see somebody in the water. I think it was divers.
I think
that's the plane. But one of our stills guys put on his telephoto and zoomed in tight on it. He goes, "Oh, that's a helicopter. Definitely. You could see it clearly."
There's a plane on the roof. See it? See the tail?
Oh yeah. Let's see.
This means they're opening it up.
Yeah.
There's a couple of the victims.
What's that?
A couple of victims.
Oh,
That skate team.
Boston?
That skate team. Ice skating team.
I'm just going to stay on this. Usually I can kind of freestyle. Just going in line. But I would hate to
See that boat?
miss a plane taking off.
The problem is that military base has been there since like the same time they put all this stuff put in the machines. Hey. Oh, okay. They just walked down. Your set's down.
I'm going to go get my jacket. My other jacket.
So you kind of like you guys both.
They're supposed to bring up some more nights for you. They need one more in here. So that if they say, right. Well, let's just see where, like, that's what I'm saying, what they want. Right there. So we can do that.
No, this isn't what we're doing. I'm just trying to help get you guys a lot of spots.
Taking it up a notch. Might go over there just real quick and see if I can see that plane. I think this is still.
Joe, I think one of those two transfers guys. Thanks.
I didn't see it anywhere. I didn't see that plane anywhere. So I don't know. You can open it now. Hope he doesn't need anything else. Oh, is that those jet skis?
We were wondering that.
There he goes. That'll work.
They're supposed to be bringing it, Justin and the facility from DC. They need to meet Scott again. Right.
Put her on a case.
Well, I'm not the biggest of schools, okay? Unfortunately, about bringing this closer.
Did you guys have anybody out at Haynes Point at all earlier before they closed it off?
Where is that?
Right there.
I think no, we did not. We had somebody over in National Harbor.
Oh, okay.
And then we had somebody over here too.
Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Dangerfield, and then over here is Gravelly Point.
Yeah, we didn't have anybody there either.
Hey, don't fix it. It's just rain all day long.
The United changed of it on its own.
Yeah, I saw that.
Have a bath.
There you go.
Come in and drive through the night.
What's that?
Nothing taken off yet. When are your guys going to come replace you?
She's got to go shoot something first. Either he comes or the folks that are doing this car. So I don't think they're going to come here before one, 2 o'clock in this first story.
I'm sure I'm not going to, they're not going to do this. Towing. I know they told the guy that it's going to continue this afternoon. So I guess that's fine. This way. Can't really get it from here. Yeah, that's a good idea.
What are they doing? I don't remember. What is this?
Oh yeah. I thought that was coming from the airplanes.
Yeah, it sounded like it. No, it's not.
Airboat over there.
said he's going to go down and get it. You just go by and get it.
You know, so you walk down something's there? No, it's fine. We're back. Huh?
So, kind of what
Sure. Great.
This cable.
Okay, great.
This is a power supply.
And I have one too, so. Oh, it's in my other. It's in. I have it. I do have it. Sorry, I'm a little. Yeah, and I brought bigger phones too.
Okay.
If you, I mean, I'll take a stand.
Yeah. You want to leave all this stuff?
Okay. You keep it, or am I taking this?
No,
you're taking this.
Yeah, I'll take this.
Great. Sure. Yeah. So to try it big.
This is.
I have another stool too, but
I'll take that.
whatever. Yeah, just. But are you going home after this? Okay. Well, I can text him or I'll whatever if I don't get it people because they're asleep. Make sure it goes somewhere.
No, I mean I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah. Ben said he never used it.
I have a little folding one. I know how to do live shots and all that. Yeah, totally. I think we got MOS. The only thing I'm going to do is get my computer turned on and just, and then I'll probably go in and I set up the camera to get a video real quick, but it might not because I can shoot a little bit. They're not really. And I shot some of that stuff too, so I know where my stuff is. I think yeah, so how about this? I'll get my sticks out, and we'll just do a quick transfer like you did with Ben.
Yeah.
Contra, just give me a minute.
massive search and rescue mission was underway throughout the night, leveraging every asset at our disposal. And I have to say the local, state, federal, military, including the United States Coast Guard in particular, they've done a phenomenal job. So quick, so fast, it was mobilized immediately. The work has now shifted to a recovery mission. Sadly, there are no survivors. This was a dark and excruciating night in our nation's capital and in our nation's history, and a tragedy of terrible proportions. As one nation, we grieve for every precious soul that has been taken from us so suddenly, and we are a country of really, we are in mourning. This is really shaken a lot of people, including people, very sadly, from other nations who were on the flight. For the family members back in Wichita, Kansas, here in Washington, D.C., and throughout the United States and in Russia, we have a Russia contingent, some very talented people. Unfortunately, were on that plane. Very, very, very sorry about that. Whose loved ones were aboard the passenger jet. We can only begin to imagine the agony that you're all feeling. Nothing worse. On behalf of the First Lady, myself, and 340 million Americans, our hearts are shattered alongside yours, and our prayers are with you now and in the days to come. We'll be working very, very diligently in the days to come. We're here for you to wipe away the tears and to offer you our devotion, our love, and our support. There's great support. In moments like this, the differences between Americans fade to nothing compared to the bonds of affection and loyalty that unite us all, both as Americans and even as nations. We are one family, and today we are all heartbroken. We're all searching for answers. That icy, icy Potomac, it was a cold, cold night, cold water. We're all overcome with the grief for many who have so tragically perished, will no longer be with us. Together we take solace in the knowledge that their journey ended not in the cold waters of the Potomac, but in the warm embrace of a loving God. We do not know what led to this crash, but we have some very strong opinions and ideas, and I think we'll probably state those opinions now. Because over the years I've watched as things like this happen, and they say, well, we're always investigating, and then the investigation 3 years later, they announce it. We think we have some pretty good ideas. But we'll find out how this disaster occurred, and we'll ensure that nothing like this ever happens again. The FAA and the NTSB and the U.S. military will be carrying out a systematic and comprehensive investigation. Our new Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, his second day on the job when that happened. It's a rough one. We'll be working tirelessly. He's a great gentleman. The whole group these are great people, and they are working tirelessly to figure out exactly what happened. We will state certain opinions, however. I'm also immediately appointing an acting commissioner to the FAA, Christopher Rocheleau, a 22-year veteran of the agency, highly respected. Christopher, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We must have only the highest standards for those who work in our aviation system. I changed the Obama standards from very mediocre at best to extraordinary. You remember that. Only the highest aptitude, they have to be the highest intellect and psychologically superior people were allowed to qualify for air traffic controllers. That was not so prior to getting there. When I arrived in 2016, I made that change very early on because I always felt this was a job that, and other jobs too, but this was a job that had to be superior intelligence, and we didn't really have that, and we had it. And then when I left office and Biden took over, he changed them back to lower than ever before. I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put policy first. And they put politics at a level that nobody's ever seen, because this was the lowest level. Their policy was horrible, and their politics was even worse. So as you know, last week, long before the crash, I signed an executive order restoring our highest standards for air traffic controllers and other important jobs throughout the country. So it was very interesting. About a week ago, almost upon entering office, I signed something last week that was an executive order, very powerful, on restoring the highest standards of air traffic controllers and others, by the way. Then my administration will set the highest possible bar for aviation safety. We have to have our smartest people. It doesn't matter what they look like, how they speak, who they are. It matters intellect, talent, the word talent. They have to be talented, naturally talented geniuses. You can't have regular people doing that job. They won't be able to do it. But we'll restore faith in American air travel. I'll have more to say about that. I do want to point out that various articles that appeared prior to my entering office, and here's one. The FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. That is amazing. And then it says FAA says people with severe disabilities are most underrepresented segment of the workforce, and they want them in, and they want them, they can be air traffic controllers. I don't think so. This was in January 14th, so that was a week before I entered office. They put a big push to put diversity into the FAA's program. Then another article, the Federal Aviation Administration, this was before I got to office, recently, second term. The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Can you imagine? These are people that are, I mean, actually, their lives are shortened because of the stress that they have. Brilliant people have to be in those positions, and their lives are actually shortened, very substantially shortened, because of the stress, where you have many, many planes coming into one target, and you need a very special talent and a very special genius to be able to do it. Targeted disabilities are those disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruitment and hiring. The FAA's website states they include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, severe intellectual disability, psychiatric disability, and dwarfism all qualify for the position of a controller of airplanes pouring into our country, pouring into a little spot, a little dot on the map, a little runway. The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan. Think of that. The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan, which says diversity is integral to achieving FAA's mission of ensuring safe and efficient travel. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's just the opposite. The FAA website shows that the agency's guidance on diversity hiring were last updated on March 23rd of 22. They wanted to make it even more so. And then I came in, and I assume maybe this is the reason. The FAA, which is overseen by Secretary Pete Buttigieg, a real winner. That guy's a real winner. Do you know how badly everything's run since he's run this Department of Transportation? He's a disaster. He was a disaster as a mayor. He ran his city into the ground, and he's a disaster now. He's just got a good line of bullshit. The Department of Transportation, his government agency charged with regulating civil aviation. Well, he runs it, 45,000 people, and he's run it right into the ground with his diversity. So I had to say that it's terrible. Then it's a group within the FAA, another story, determined that the workforce was too white, that they had concerted efforts to get the administration to change that and to change it immediately. This was in the Obama administration just prior to my getting there. And we took care of African Americans, Hispanic Americans. We took care of everybody at levels that nobody's ever seen before. It's one of the reasons I won. But they actually came out with a directive to white. And we want the people that are competent. But now we mourn and we pray, and would like to ask all Americans to join me in a moment of silence as we ask God to watch over those who have lost their lives and bring comfort to the loved ones. And I just want to say God bless everyone in this room. This has been a terrible, very short period of time. We'll get to the bottom of it. So we all saw the same thing. We've seen it many times. I've had the honor of hearing tapes. Tapes are scary, very scary tapes. You had a airliner coming in, American Airlines. He was doing everything right. He was on track. He was the same track as everybody else. They came in. It's probably the same track as they've had for 25 years or more. He's coming in the path. And for some reason, he had a helicopter that was at the same height, obviously when they hit, but pretty much the same height, and going at an angle that was unbelievably bad. When the air traffic controller said, "Do you see?" You know, he was talking about, "Do you see him?" But there was very little time left when that was stated. And then also he said, "Follow him in." And then almost immediately after that, you know, seconds after that, there was the crash that took place. Well, you follow him in, that means like everything's fine. Follow him in. You had a pilot problem from the standpoint of the helicopter. I mean, because it was visual. It was a very clear night. It was cold but clear, and clear as you could be. The American Airlines plane had lights blazing. They had all of their landing lights on. I could see it from the Kennedy Center tape. We had a tape up on the Kennedy Center. That seems to be the primary. Thus far, I'm sure we'll see other tapes because it's such an area where there are a lot of cameras looking up into the air, into space. So we'll probably see many other shots of it before too much time goes by. But we had a situation where you had a helicopter that had the ability to stop. I have helicopters. You can stop a helicopter very quickly. It had the ability to go up or down. It had the ability to turn. And the turn it made was not the correct turn, obviously. It did somewhat the opposite of what it was told. We don't know that that would have been the difference because the timing was so tight. It was so little. There was so little time to think. But what you did have is you had vision. The helicopter had vision of the plane because you had vision of it all the way, perfect vision of it all the way from at Kennedy Center where the tape was taken. And for some reason, there weren't adjustments made. Again, you could have slowed down the helicopter substantially. You could have stopped the helicopter. You could have gone up. You could have gone down. You could have gone straight up, straight down. You could have turned. You could have done a million different maneuvers. For some reason, it just kept going and then made a slight turn at the very end, and by that time it was too late. They shouldn't have been at the same height, because if it was at the same height, you could have gone under it or over it, and nobody realized, or they didn't say that it's at the same height. At the same height, it still wouldn't have been great, but you would have missed it by quite a bit. It could have been 1,000 feet higher. It could have been 200 feet lower, but it was exactly at the same height, and somebody should have been able to point that out. So all of this is going to be studied, but it just seems to me, from a couple of words that I like to use, the words common sense, some really bad things happened, and some things happened that shouldn't have happened. So you had a helicopter going in an identical direction. You had a helicopter that was at the exact same height as somebody going in essentially the opposite direction. You had a plane that was following a track, which is a track that every other plane followed. And I don't imagine, I know I've heard today that they might have been following the preceding plane, which was pretty close, but not that close. the preceding plane, but you wouldn't have even been able to see that because of the direction that the helicopter was coming in at. So you had a confluence of bad decisions that were made, and you have people that lost their lives, violently lost their lives. We're going to take a few questions. I'd like to ask our new Secretary of Transportation to say a few words. Sean Duffy, great gentleman, just started. It's not your fault, and I know you agree with me very strongly on intellect and even psychological well-being of the air traffic control. It's such an important position, and I think I can't emphasize stronger. I changed it when I first ran in 2016. I changed it. We had the highest standard that you could have, and then they changed it back. That was Biden, to a standard I read it to you. That was from one of your papers. One of the people in this room actually wrote that. And then I changed it back a few days ago. And unfortunately, that was, we'll see. We don't know that necessarily it's even the controller's fault. But one thing we do know, there was a lot of vision, and people should have been able to see that, you know, at what point do you stop? At what point do you say, wow, that plane's getting a little bit close? So this is a tragedy that should not have happened. Please, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I would just note the President's leadership has been remarkable during this crisis. We have had a whole of government response, local, state, federal, and when you see that kind of cooperation, it begins with the leadership in this body. So thank you for that, Mr. President. You make our jobs a lot easier. You made an important point that when we deal with safety, we can only accept the best and the brightest in positions of safety that impact the lives of our loved ones, our family members. And I think you make a really important point on that, Mr. President. That is the motto of your presidency, the best and the brightest, the most intelligent coming into these spaces. I want to take a moment and extend my condolences to the families of the loved ones. We commit to them that we are going to get to the bottom of this investigation, not in 3 years, not in 4 years, but as quickly as possible with the NTSB, who is here today, as well as the FAA. What happened yesterday shouldn't have happened. It should not have happened. And when Americans take off in airplanes, they should expect to land at their destination. That didn't happen yesterday. That's not acceptable. And so we will not accept excuses. We will not accept passing the buck. We are going to take responsibility at the Department of Transportation and the FAA to make sure we have the reforms that have been dictated by President Trump in place to make sure that these mistakes do not happen again. And again, I want to thank you for your leadership, Mr. President, and I appreciate the confidence you placed in me. Thank you.
Pete, would you like to say something?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Again, I want to echo what the Transportation Secretary said about your leadership. From the moment we found out about this, we were in contact with the White House trying to determine exactly what happened. I would echo it as well. No excuses. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We first and foremost, from the Defense Department, want to pass our condolences to the 64 souls and their families that were affected by this. Never should happen. And certainly the 3 service members, the 3 soldiers, a young captain, staff sergeant, and a CW2, Chief Warrant Officer, on a routine annual retraining of night flights on a standard corridor for a continuity of government mission. The military does dangerous things. It does routine things on the regular basis. Tragically, last night, a mistake was made. And I think the president is right. There was some sort of an elevation issue that we have immediately begun investigating at the DOD and Army level. Army CID is on the ground investigating. Top-tier aviation assets inside the DOD are investigating, sir, to get to the bottom of it so that it does not happen again, because it's absolutely unacceptable. But I want to echo what the Transportation Secretary and you, Mr. President, said, because it pertains to the DOD as well. We will have the best and brightest in every position possible. As you said in your inaugural, it is colorblind and merit-based. the best leaders possible, whether it's flying Blackhawks and flying airplanes, leading platoons, or in government. The era of DEI is gone at the Defense Department, and we need the best and brightest, whether it's in our air traffic control, or whether it's in our generals, or whether it's throughout government. So thank you for your leadership and courage on that, sir, and we'll stand by you on it. Thank you.
Very much. JD, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership. I just want to reemphasize something the President said, and you've heard from the Secretary of Transportation and of Defense. There really was a whole of government response. We were all on the phone. We were all communicating yesterday, trying to get to the bottom of this immediately, but also try to communicate with the American people about what happened. Something the President said that I think bears reemphasizing, which is that when you don't have the best standards in who you're hiring, it means on the one hand, you're not getting the best people in government, but on the other hand, it puts stresses on the people who are already there. And I think that is a core part of what President Trump is going to bring and has already brought to Washington, D.C. is we want to hire the best people because we want the best people at air traffic control, and we want to make sure we have enough people at air traffic control who are actually competent to do the job. If you go back to just some of the headlines over the past 10 years, you have many hundreds of people suing the government because they would like to be air traffic controllers, but they were turned away because of the color of their skin. That policy ends under Donald Trump's leadership because safety is the first priority of our aviation industry. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, on DEI and the claims that you've made, are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power. You have to go by psychological quality. And psychological quality is a very important element of it. These are various very powerful tests that we put to use, and they were terminated by Biden. And Biden went by a standard that's the exact opposite. So we don't know, but we do know that you had two planes at the same level. You had a helicopter and a plane. That shouldn't have happened. And we'll see. We're going to look into that, and we're going to see. But certainly for an air traffic controller, we want the brightest, the smartest, the sharpest. We want somebody that's psychologically superior, and that's what we're going to have. Yeah.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Mr. President, you mentioned at the top of the briefing that there were several Russian nationals on the flight.
Yes.
Will the U.S. government be willing to facilitate the transfer of their remains, considering the fact there is no direct air travel between the two countries?
We've already been in contact with Russia, and the answer is yes, we will facilitate. Yes.
Mr. President.
Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. The situation in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is getting worse, even though President John Lorenzo has been mediating the conflict between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo because he wants to bring peace and stability. The situation is really bad right now. I want to hear from Ms. President if you have any plan in the future to bring peace in the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
You're asking me a question about Rwanda, and it is a very serious problem. I agree, but I don't think it's appropriate right now to talk about it. But it is a very serious problem.
Mr. President, we even yet know the names of the 67 people who were killed, and you are blaming Democrats and DEI policies and air traffic control, and seemingly the member of the U.S. military who was flying that Black Hawk helicopter. Don't you think you're getting ahead of the investigation right now?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think with the names of the people. You mean the names of the people that are on the plane? You think that's going to make a difference?
Does it comfort their families
They
to
are
hear you
a
blaming
group of
DEI
people that have
policies?
lost their lives. If you want a list of the names, we can give you that. We'll be giving that very soon. We're in coordination with American Airlines. We're in coordination very strongly, obviously, with the military. But I think that's not a very smart question. I'm surprised coming from you. Please.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you for being here. Based on your analysis so far, do you have a sense of who is at fault, if it was the plane, the helicopter, air traffic control, and can you assure people that it is safe to fly in and out of D.C.?
Well, I've given you the analysis, and the analysis was it was based on vision. You had a lot of people that saw what was happening. You had some people that knew what was happening. There was some warnings, but the warnings were given very, very late. You know, those warnings were given very late. It was almost as they were given. A few seconds later, there was the crash. It should have been brought up earlier. But the people in the helicopter should have seen where they were going. I can't imagine people with 20/20 vision not seeing, you know, what's happening up there. Again, they shouldn't have been at the same height. You're going in reverse directions or sideways directions. Obviously, you want to be at different heights. I see it all the time when I'm flying. You have planes going in the opposite. They're always lower, we're higher, or they're... So if somehow there's a screw-up, there's not going to be a tragedy. It'll be close, but you know, there's never going to be a tragedy if you're at a different elevation. For whatever reason, they were at the same elevation. And also, from the American Airlines standard, he's along the track that every plane is along. You say, what was a helicopter doing in that track? It's very sad. But visually, somebody should have been able to see and taken that helicopter out of play. And they should have been at a different height.
Thank you, sir. You mentioned the Russians that were on board that plane. What other nationalities were on board that passenger?
There were a couple of others. We're going to be announcing it in about an hour. We have some very specific information. We're calling the countries. We've spoken to most of them, but there were some other countries represented.
Mr. President, spoken to President Putin?
I have not, no.
Mr. President, on your executive
Not about this.
On your executive order, you've already issued an executive order you say will restore aviation safety.
Right.
This crash happened after that. Was the executive order successful, and what more needs to change to keep people safe?
Well, you know, we issued it 3 days ago, and we're in the process of making those changes. This is something that should have been done a long time ago. Actually, my original order should have never been changed, and I think maybe you wouldn't have had this problem. Maybe. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. We see like everyday life that very often those diversity hires cause sometimes issues, as you just mentioned. So what plan do you have? Are we going to see some fire? Are you going to fire some of those diversity hire in the federal government? What plan do you have?
I would say the answer is yes. If we find that people aren't mentally competent, you see the language. The language is put out by them. And if you see that, I'm not going to bore you by reading it again, but these are not people that should be doing this particular job. They'd be very good for certain jobs, but not people that should be doing this particular job.
Mr. President, you have today blamed the diversity elements, but then told us that you weren't sure that the controllers made any mistake. You then said perhaps the helicopter pilots were the ones who made the mistake.
It's all under investigation.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. We want brilliant people doing this. This is a major chess game at the highest level. When you have 60 planes coming in during a short period of time, and they're all coming in different directions, and you're dealing with very high-level computer work and very complex computers. And one of the other things I will tell you is that the systems that were built, I was going to rebuild the entire system, and then we had an election that didn't turn out the way it should have. But they didn't build the systems properly. They spent a lot of money renovating a system, spending much more money than they would have spent if they bought a new system for air traffic controllers, meaning the computerized systems. There are certain companies that do a very good job. They didn't use those companies. They used companies that should not have been doing it. No, I think it's very important to understand that for some jobs, and not only this, but air traffic controllers, they have to be at the highest level of genius. Okay.
I want to ask you about the ice skaters in a moment because the U.S. ice skating community was affected. But first, if I can, the cited FAA text that you read is real. But the implication that this policy is new or that it stems from efforts that began under President Biden or the Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is demonstrably false. It's been on the FAA's
Who said
website.
That, you?
No, it's on the website, the FAA's website. It was there in 2013. It was there for the
Take
entirety.
A look, what I read.
It was there for the entirety of your administration
Nice and
too.
easy.
So my question is, why didn't you change the policy during your first administration?
I did change it. I changed the Obama policy, and we had a very good policy. And then Biden came in, and he changed it. And then when I came in 3 days ago, I signed a new order, bringing it to the highest level of intelligence. Okay.
It was on the website.
Please.
Respectfully, it was on the website.
Quiet, quiet.
Welcome back to the. I'm sorry. You mentioned that a vision was probably the problem that was at issue in this crash. There's been some reports that one of the pilots in a helicopter may have been using night vision equipment. Was there any indication?
I heard that. We don't know. We're going to know that pretty soon. It may change your view plane if you do have the night vision. So it's very possible that could have happened. That would be maybe a reason why you wouldn't actually see as well as on a clear night. You can see sometimes better without it. Have a couple of more.
Mr. President, is it helpful to have your Secretary of Transportation confirmed, and does this intensify your interest in getting other nominees confirmed quickly?
Go to what?
Is it helpful to have your Secretary of Transportation confirmed, and does this intensify your interest in getting other nominees confirmed quickly as well?
Well, sure. We want fast confirmations, and the Democrats, as you know, are doing everything they can to delay them. They've taken too long. We're struggling to get very good people that everybody knows are going to be confirmed, but we're struggling to get them out faster. We want them out faster. It's a good question, actually. We've been pushing Sean. Everyone knows Sean for a long time. He got many, many Democrat votes, but they want to take as long as they can. They ask questions like some of the questions that Peter would ask that were totally irrelevant and not very good questions, but they want to just keep it going. They want to keep it going as long as possible. I was very honored, actually, that you got so many Democrat votes. That was really good. That was really good.
When I applied to meet with the families, and second question, is it your impression that military training that was done during that time?
The what?
The training that the helicopter was involved in. Is it anything you can tell us about
You
that?
don't know. These are the things that will come up with the investigation. You don't know. But the helicopter obviously was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and a tragedy occurred. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I've got a question about the...
No, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You've been critical of the current regulations, and you've called for big reforms at FAA. I'm curious, sir,
I made the reforms, actually.
What is your message?
3 days ago, I made them.
Yes, sir. What is your message then to the American public in the weeks and months ahead? Should they feel hesitant to fly? And if you could clarify perhaps something that the Defense Secretary said when he said that this helicopter was on a continuity of government mission?
I don't know what that refers to, but they were practicing. They do that. They call it practicing, and they were. And that's something that should be done. It's only continuity in the sense that we want to have very good people, and that has to be in continuity, and that's what they refer to. But it was basically practice, and it was a practice that worked out very, very badly. Okay?
On his question, the first question, should people be hesitant to fly right now?
No, not at all. I've not hesitated to fly. This is something that it's been many years that something like this has happened, and the collision is just something that we don't expect ever to happen again. We are going to have the highest level people. We've already hired some of the people that you've already hired for that position long before we knew about this. I mean, long before. From the time I came in, we started going out and getting the best people because I said it's not appropriate what they're doing. I think it's a tremendous mistake. You know, they like to do things and they like to take them too far, and this is sometimes what ends up happening. Now, with that, I'm not blaming the controller. I'm saying there are things that you could question, like the height of the helicopter, the height of the plane being at the same level and going in opposite directions. It's not a positive. But no, we're already hiring people. No, flying is very safe. We have the safest flying anywhere in the world, and we'll keep it that way. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.